What's your relationship like with Matt Canada? You have trust in him?
Yeah, I trusted him fully.
Warren turned on his speed. 63 yards on the run by Jaylen Warren.
Well, we are back on the Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy, with the Jaylen Warren Show. A lot to get to. Mr. 3K himself, we're going to be speaking here too in a little bit. But first, football season is here. Fall time is here. So this is the place you need to be. Brushes and Beans Cafe in Murraysville. Caffeinate and create at Brushes and Beans Cafe. Visit them at 4550 William Penn Highway in Murraysville. We're going to be collaborating with them on some events and some upcoming giveaways, and you never know. But make sure you stop out there, Mark. Everyone, just a great business, and tell them that the Sick Podcast Steeler Crazy sent you. The Jaylen Warren Show, man. Really excited that, and just lucky that we get to, talk to someone like him every week and just break things down. And most importantly, we do this for you guys. So make sure you tell your friends, your aunts, your uncles, your uncle in Honolulu, everywhere. Because, we're one click away, and we like to give you that inside look into the Steelers locker room. And another place that you need to visit, and that is Steel City Wheelhouse, where the bar is set. Tires for all cars and trucks can now be purchased online at steelcitywheelhouse.com. But get this, financing is available. I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't afford. They'll work with any budget, and they'll get you what you need, and you'll be riding out of there in style. Our guy Jaylen goes there. I went there for my tires. Maybe they can even ship you some tires to Florida. Mike, what do you say?
Yeah, man. I don't need them as much because the weather here is a lot better than Pittsburgh in the wintertime. But I mean,
you don't need to rub it in.
John, they have the best tires in the entire world. So are you kidding me? Let's keep rolling. Like what Limp Bizkit once said. So yeah, man, you said it all. It's good to have a couple days after a loss. Pirates manager Clint Hurdle, he used to say, shower it off, and then you regroup and you get back to the drawing board. So I'm feeling good today, and I think Jaylen Warren obviously is going to break some things down for us. We heard from Mike Tomlin earlier. He's showing the utmost confidence in this football team. His quarterback Kenny Pickett. How can you not? It's 1 week at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We saw the Bengals struggle. We saw the Bills struggle.
Everyone.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are a damn good football team. Come on now. It is week 1. Everybody
the
needs
juggernauts.
To kind of
everyone
right now. The juggernauts, right? I mean, I think it was NFL Network's Kyle Brandt said on his podcast today. He said, I throw week 1 out the window. That's literally what he said. He said there are teams that are going to be playing in the divisional round in the playoffs that lost week 1. He said there are going to be teams that don't even get close to making the playoffs that won week 1. Couldn't agree more. So everybody, let's take a deep breath and let's bring in Mr. 3K himself. Number 30 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is Jaylen Warren. Jaylen, what's up, man? The bucket hat is back.
Yes, sir. What's good? It's good. Hope y'all doing all right.
Doing good.
We're doing well. We're excited to catch up with you a little bit. Obviously, we're not as excited to recap this 49ers loss. You guys go down 30-7 at home, starting 0-1 at the hands of San Francisco, a really good football team. But, Jaylen, I always got to ask, what went wrong for you guys?
I don't know. I guess maybe just trying to do things that, that wasn't what we did, from camp all the way up until that point. Just, you've seen everything that transpired. I would say it's just, we weren't playing our ball. We weren't ourselves. And like you said, it's week 1. Get in the lab. We're going to go fix it. We'll, digest it and, move on from it. But that's the main thing I would say is we weren't being ourselves.
Yeah, you talk about getting in the lab. How quickly do you guys get in the lab? I'm just curious what the process is like in terms of reviewing the tape from that game and then jumping into next week's opponent. How quickly is that, and where are you guys kind of at in that?
Well, I would say individually, I hope, we jumped on everybody did that part and jumped on it the night of, right after the game. But we got in the next day, we all watched the film together. We all talked it out, and move on forward with that. Collected information, and just we're gonna go on from there.
We're hanging out with our guy Jaylen Warren here on the Jaylen Warren Show, brought to you by the Sick Podcast. Steelers crazy. All right, your quarterback after the game, Jaylen, says we need more balance offensively. Obviously, assuming he's talking about running the rock a little bit more, which I can't imagine you're all that opposed to. What are your thoughts on that comment, Jaylen?
My thoughts on that comment is, whether that's true or not, I feel like we still could have did with what we did. I don't really necessarily blame the play calling. I think it was like maybe more the execution side of things. We knew exactly what to do. Sometimes we just, I don't know, maybe we're confused, didn't do it. I don't know if it was the play calling, that could have been a factor, but with that, I just feel like it was our execution.
What's your relationship like with Matt Canada? You have trust in him?
Yeah, I trust him fully. Yeah, I think he's a great, OC. He has a strong background to back it up. I just feel like I don't really look at it as it's his fault at all. Or, we're not over here to point fingers. We're here to learn with each other and grow with each other, and then, focus on the Browns.
What is the message from Mike Tomlin in the locker room after a loss like that? Are you already, you kind of just resonate where you're at and then move on the next day and, like you said, clean it off and get ready for the Browns? Like, how quick is the process, and what did he have to say?
So that's what I like about him is he's not over there like kind of like patting us on the back saying like it's okay, everything will be fine. He basically told us like we got to own it. It is what it is. The outcome is what it was. He says it wasn't mystical. They whooped us.
Yeah.
So own it. Don't run from it. And on to the next.
So, yeah, you say on to the next, kind of like the Jay-Z song made me think of that. How quickly do you look at the Browns tape? Like, is it like, that night you kind of go home and, zone out and then regroup the next day, or like just it's just cool. I think the process.
I know we already talked about that a little bit, Jaylen. What are you watching specifically? I'll elaborate on Jordan's question. What do you look for when you're watching this Browns tape?
Personally?
Yeah, personally.
Really like with the basics, I'll just say their defense, personnel, what they like to run on third down. My role's third down back, so what they like to bring on third down. Basically, things like that. How quickly you start watching that film. I said the night of, we kind of like watch the film of the game, like digest that. Next day, go over that. But then after that, watch the Browns like right after that. No more need to watch the other tape unless you're trying to learn from yourself. That's really it.
What do you feel that you need to improve on personally going into the next game?
Man, I would say just, staying level-headed. When adversity hits, I'm pretty good when adversity hits to kind of like just staying calm. So just, keeping that kind of gesture. I don't like to show no weakness or anything like that, especially to the opposing team. So whatever it is, like, and bring the teammates that maybe feel like that up, with me, and kind of just have it be like some type of contagious like action, have it reciprocate.
Yeah, for sure, Jaylen. Let's transition into it. This is going to be your first Monday Night Football game at home. I know last year you had the Colts on the road, a couple primetime games, of course, at Heinz Field. But Monday night's a different animal, man. People Jordan and I's age come out because all the older fans don't love the Monday night atmosphere. So you get the crazier fans that come out on Monday night, if you know what I'm saying. So you're going to get the fans who come straight from Tequila Cowboy. I'll put it that way. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. What do you expect that atmosphere to be like?
Shoot, I mean, from my experience, the darker games, and we're usually away. The lights go out. It is a pretty nice atmosphere. You know, all that's cool and all, but
Yeah.
we're there, to win. So the atmosphere does play part, especially with it being home. I'm mostly excited to see what that's going to look like. Yeah, so we'll see.
How much does it fire you up if you see the terrible towels waving? Like you can't block it out, right? That has to just be, take control of your body. I feel like in terms of adrenaline.
Oh, 100%. It gives you like that extra push. Like,
Yeah,
you can't block it out. It's yellow towels waving everywhere, and just shows the loyalty and the how do I say it, like the structure of our fans. Like they go out there.
It's a unity.
Yes. Like they're out there having fun. Just got to do our part.
you're watching the Jaylen Warren Show with Yinzer Jaylen Warren over here hanging out, of course, with us on the Sick Podcast. Steelers, crazy. You guys split with the Cleveland Browns last year. They had a huge win over the Bengals in Week 1. You're watching tape. I'm sure you're familiar at this point. What makes them such a tough team to play against, Jalen?
They have two really good DNs. Everybody knows Myles Garrett. There's another one that came from the Vikings. Can't think of his name, but you can tell they're playing. Their sound over there. They're where they're supposed to be. You can just tell like their chemistry is there. So I don't know. Like I feel like that won't be a problem with us if we just play our game.
And it's a division game. Like these,
Right.
I'm sure. Obviously, every game is important. We can't gloss over the fact of that. But I know in that locker room and deep in your heart and in Mike Tomlin's soul, division games mean a little extra. Come on now.
Yes, I mean it's that we go 1-0. We go 1-0 in our division. That says a lot. I mean that kind of puts us up there. So why not?
Yeah.
Never gets old beating Cleveland either. So
True. That's true.
Yeah, the more time I spend up here, the more I realize, because I've never been an NFL fan really. I've always just liked players, but as things start kind of like falling in place, and I'm starting to realize how important some games. I mean, every game, like you said, every game is important.
Yeah,
This is a divisional opponent, so as I'm around and notice all that, it does, get a little more intense.
Yeah.
You didn't have a team growing up?
My family did, the Tennessee Titans.
wow.
No way.
So our
Yeah.
producers, shout out to
Yeah.
Sammy and Anella, they're Titans fans. We won't hold it against them. But
Man.
yeah, but that's pretty cool. So they were Oilers fans, I guess, then back in the day.
Yeah. Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
But you were watching a lot of Derrick Henry then, I would imagine. Probably trying to model your game after him, watching it in the on Thanksgiving or whatever.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
I like to watch running backs that kind of have my similar play style, like, or at least like similar body type. Like we're two completely different bodies.
Well, who would you name? Who would that? I used to think like you had like a little bit of Ray Rice in you. Who are some guys that you would watch? Yeah.
I would say like who I like to watch is someone like Saquon Barkley. Like I like
Nice.
watching.
Yeah.
I like because he you don't know what he's gonna do. He can do it all: truck, juke, jump, whatever. He's explosive. So like, just playmakers really making something out of nothing.
Like it. So injuries to Deontay Johnson and Cam Hayward. Talk about that next guy man up mentality.
Like they say, one guy's misfortune is another guy's, or one guy's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Like, just come up and make sure you prepared as if you were like you've been the starter. So go up there, put your best foot forward, and go from there.
So before I throw it back to Mike and we wrap it up again, you're watching the Jaylen Warren Show, Steelers Crazy, the Sick Podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe, tell your friends. We're everywhere, major podcast streaming outlets, wherever. throw us up on your TV, YouTube TV. But what is the biggest key for you guys going into this game? If you just had to sum it up, maybe even 1 or 2 words, a sentence.
Execution.
That's it. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Gotta execute. Gotta execute for sure. All right, let's have a little bit of fun. I think we announced last show that we're gonna have a giveaway. We're over here. We're giving away a Jaylen Warren jersey to a special fan, and we're really happy to do that. Obviously, with the guy right next to us right now. So I do want to first mention this is courtesy of Shop Yins. Shop Yins has been a great sponsor for us so far, and mostly because we like repping their stuff. Come on, now we have to get them to make a bucket hat. By the way, Taylor, if you're watching this, we need a bucket hat for Jaylen, and I swear to God, I'll wear that bucket hat, even though I just got a haircut. Jordan will wear that bucket hat too, if he can get us one. Once that's up, go to shopyins.com. It's 2 Z's. Use the code SICK15. Listen, they just updated their website. It is so user-friendly. You'll get to see a lot of awesome Pittsburgh-related sports scenes on that, and you get 15% off your first purchase. No minimum necessary. And courtesy of Shop Yins, let's give away this Jaylen Warren jersey to none other than loyal supporter Ryan Chepkovich. Jaylen, that's sweet, right? I mean, you gotta find Ryan in the stands and point him out or something at some point.
Right, yeah, wherever. Hey, Ryan, let me know where you are, and I'll give you like a thumbs up.
Yes, sir. I love that. I love that. And hey, I want to also mention that Heather Murray is going to get a $10 gift card to Shop Yins, which goes a long way. Thanks for entering our contest. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching the Jaylen Warren show. Jaylen, man, love watching you on Sundays. Gonna love watching you on Mondays, of course, too, whatever day of the week it must be. As always, man, first and foremost, stay healthy, all right?
Always.
Thanks, Jaylen. Good luck out
Appreciate
there
you,
on Monday.
Catch you next week.
Catch
you next
Already.
week. Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
My guy. Yeah, man, it's never easy jumping on with these players after a tough
He's
loss.
great.
He's great. I mean,
great.
we had the Chris Wormley and Friends show for last 2 seasons. We were fortunate to rock with our guy Big Worm, who we had Alex Highsmith on with him, some other really insightful players. Jaylen's super insightful and honest and transparent. Listen, you watch these shows and they're not easy for these guys to jump on and really open up and be transparent after, a drubbing. He said himself, we got whooped. That was a literal quote. Jaylen Warren said, we got whooped. But they do it and we're thankful. And like we said, we get to pick their brain and bring it to our fans, and Steelers Nation should be grateful for that for sure, JY.
Yeah, and I think that we know, we got to be realistic. We try to always be realistic here on the Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy. We're going to have shows where the Steelers aren't going to win. They're not going to go undefeated. We're not now. So I'm glad that we got that out of the way. And again, as I told Jaylen, as I told you, Mike, Cleveland rocks, but it never gets old beating the Browns.
Yeah, and we'll have a preview of the Browns game coming up later in the week. That'll be dropping Friday. Might have a fantasy football guest on because I know a lot of our viewers love fantasy. They probably don't have 9 fantasy teams like I do.
I have 2.
And I am counting the best ball league that we did with our Sick team over here. Shout out Adam Rank for hosting that and the rest of the Sick team. It's a great Titans podcast. Andy McNamara. I think Andy's a little afraid to come on with us because he knows how the Steelers usually handle the Browns. Yeah. Generally, even though, of course, that last playoff game, hanging the wild card winner banner in the First Energy Stadium. Really exciting stuff. No, I'm just messing around. He's of course has a great Browns podcast, a Sick Browns podcast with our team. So maybe we'll talk to him at some point before the game, if not this one, Browns game later in the season. But Monday Night Football, Acrisure Stadium. I think I saw somewhere that Mike Tomlin is maybe it was 10-2 following a drubbing of I think like 17 or more points in the next game. Which is like a good and a bad thing because you're getting your ass kicked, but you're still winning after, I guess. And then the Steelers' record on Monday Night Football is, I think, the best in the NFL, at least over the last 20 years. So maybe some stars aligning there, but damn, it's not going to be easy without Cam Hayward and Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. And I think that, that just goes to show. I always loved that, we used to telling Jaylen that stay healthy. At the end of the day, these, you've seen what happened to Aaron Rodgers. I think they said it was 75 seconds and then boom, It's a tough game. It's, you know,
gladiators out here, man. This is war. Like, this is what these guys do, putting their bodies on the line.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. They go to war.
And it's a long season.
And we expect Kenny Pickett to bounce back. I love what Coach Tomlin said today. He used the phrase, there's football justice, is what he said. He said, if you work hard, you're going to, you know, good things will happen to you eventually. He said, Kenny Pickett puts in the work. Yeah, he had a bad game, but justice will prevail, and he will overcome, and he's going to kick ass moving forward for a while. But it was a bad game, though. I mean, we can't gloss over that. It was a bad game.
People just want to jump, you know, it's week one. It's like, you know, Peyton Manning had bad games as a quarterback. It's not like every single time they're going to go out there, you know, just kind of like Jalen alluded to, is that they have the talent. You see it. It's just, it wasn't firing on all cylinders. And I really liked it. He said that he trusts in Matt Canada because, you know, it's the same thing, you know, when Kenny Pickett's asked, you know, you got to believe in the system, you know, that they're working together, you know, Joe Schmo sitting on his couch in the basement, you know, just let the guys do their job. They're professionals, and they'll get it figured out. So
the game was almost as bad as my picking the 49ers for 8 straight weeks on this podcast. And then on Sunday tweeting that the Steelers would win. And, you know, I can't even pat myself on the back and take credit for that because I did switch. I woke up. I was excited. You know what I said to a few people? I think we're maybe the only fan base that wakes up on Sunday or whenever the hell the game is, like, ready to play. Like, I wake up and I'm stretching, like I'm doing some push-ups.
I honestly, when I watch the game, I don't even sit down. Like, I'm just like, I gotta be like, you know how like when you're getting serious, like when you're playing like Madden or something, and you get up and you're like,
when you come up,
and you're sitting there and you're just like, and then my dog, my kid's going crazy, my dog, and then my wife's just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? So,
that makes 2 of us, buddy.
That makes join the club. But hey. Another great episode. Just want to shout out to our sponsors once again. Brushes and Beans, Yins with 2 Z's, and Steel City Wheelhouse. They're going to be rocking with us all season. So really excited for that. And again, I can't say enough. Thank you guys, Steeler Nation, everyone for, you know, tuning into the Jaylen Warren Show. Again, I'll say this every episode. We really do this for Yins, hence the hat, you know, go get one, sick 15. But just we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. So excited that you guys are coming along with us. That's what makes it. We're one big family.
Congrats, Ryan. Congrats, Heather. You know, check out the Twitter page at SickPodSteelers. Gonna keep doing these giveaways weekly because, like Jordan said, we're here for Yins. We want to hook you up with some great stuff. And how cool is it for somebody like Ryan to have Jaylen Warren say, "Ryan, if I see you, let me know. I'm going to point you out." Come on, man. That's what this is about.
That's what we're all about here. Peace, love, and Steelers. Till next time.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.